Today at the LA International Auto Show, Fiat released a new sport trim for their recently refreshed 500X crossover. Back in 2019, they gave us a bit of an interior and exterior nip tuck, and they also importantly gave it a new engine under the hood. All 500X models come standard with all-wheel drive, which is pretty different than most of the compact crossovers in the mainstream segment. And this new sport trim comes with all-weather tires, another really interesting tweak for the Fiat 500X. So if you live in a colder climate like Colorado or the Midwest or the Pacific Northwest, then these tires may be a good reason to buy this trim over any other trim in the 500X lineup. The 500X still looks like a Fiat if we move back here towards the rear, even though this is one of the larger models in the Fiat lineup. And the overall proportions from the 500 definitely still work on the 500X. Moving to the rear, we find a cargo area that's pretty similar to most subcompact crossovers in America. Remember that this is a direct competitor to something like the Honda HR-V, the Mazda CX-3, etc. We still find a spare tire under there, also another handy feature if you live in some of those more rural areas and you're looking for something that's a little bit more compact like this. And if I close the hatch, this definitely looks like a member of the Fiat family. One of the big changes for 2019 is that under the hood we find a new 1.3-liter four-cylinder turbocharged engine. Fiat has been making small turbo engines in Europe for a long time, and for some reason not all of their American vehicles have received their latest engine technology, but the 500X for 2019 and 2020 is a little bit different. This engine produces 177 horsepower and decently over 210 pound-feet of torque, making this one of the more powerful engine options in this segment. It's mated to the 9-speed automatic transmission, basically the same transmission that we see in a variety of different Jeep products, and it sends power to all four wheels by default. On the inside, we definitely get a blend of Fiat styling and some parts from the rest of the FCA product portfolio. The steering wheel buttons are very similar to what we see in a number of FCA's other vehicles, which is definitely a good thing. So we get very easy to use cruise control buttons on the right side, the controls that control that multifunction instrument cluster right there in the center. Dedicated phone buttons here, and you'll find the volume and track up and down buttons on the back of the steering wheel. This is a flat bottom design. It's a little thinner rimmed than some of FCA's other sport wheels, but we do get some good sport grips up top and some really attractive Alcantara inserts. Remember that sport for the 500X is more about appearance and overall styling than it is overall performance, because we get the same amount of power in here that we get in the rest of the 500X lineup. Hopefully we'll have one of these in the office for full review soon. In the dashboard, we find the latest Uconnect software running on a slightly smaller screen than we find in some of the other vehicles in the FCA lineup. Working our way down the dashboard, we find dual-zone automatic climate control, a feature that we don't find in some options in this segment like the Honda HR-V, 2 USB inputs, a nice practical touch there, heated seat controls, the shifter, and then a selector for the drive modes. Here we have a sport mode, and then we have a winter mode, something that you'd expect in an all-wheel drive option like this. As we see in other FCA products, there's definitely a dedication to cargo practicality even in a small vehicle. So we have a storage compartment right here above the pretty standard sized glove box that is below. For 2020, the 500X is going to start a little bit higher than some of the competition, just under $25,000. But remember, we do get the turbocharged engine standard and standard all-wheel drive, features that we don't find available in most of the competition or even optional in most of the competition, because if you get something like the Toyota CHR, all-wheel drive is simply not an option. If you want to get this sport trim, that's going to set you back about $27,000, and this is one of the top-end trims of the Fiat 500X. So Fiat has definitely tried to keep the pricing pretty narrow for 2020. This is again going to get you the all-weather tires, the upgraded interior components, and of course we have these full LED headlamps up front. Let me know what you think about the 2020 Fiat 500X down there in the comment section below, and stay tuned because I will have a full review video on this just as soon as we possibly can. It's probably going to be a 2020 model, but I can't guarantee whether it's going to be the sport trim or not. In the meantime, be sure to hit that subscribe button down there at the bottom of your screen so you can stay up to date on all of our latest videos, including all of the videos from the 2019 LA Auto Show. I'll see you later.